Music came first to the stadium in 1972, when Wembley was already 49 years old. The first event, the London Rock and Roll Show, featuring Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis, Chuck Berry, Gary Glitter, and Screaming Lord Sutch. No one will forget the Live Aid concert of 1985, and few the Freddie Mercury tribute concert. Other acts which made headlines here at the Twin Towers include Michael Jackson's 15 concerts between 1988 and 1997, the Rolling Stones, Madonna, U2, Tina Turner, Prince, Bon Jovi, and Rod Stewart. The list is endless. Sporting events have varied from the ridiculous to the sublime. Do you remember Evel Knievel attempting to jump 13 buses? That was back in May 1975. And in contrast, one of the most memorable nights in British sporting history was held in front of the Twin Towers, when Henry Cooper and Cassius Clay met for the World Heavyweight Championship on the 18th of June 1963. Ali commented after the fight, "That guy Cooper hit me so hard, he didn't only shake me, he shook my relatives back in Africa." It was probably the most famous punch ever thrown in a British ring. 44,000 people saw Henry's hammer, the famous left hook of Henry Cooper, send Clay crashing to the canvas and threatened for a few brief heart-stopping moments to change the whole course of heavyweight history. The quick, if debatable, actions in Clay's corner saved the day for the American. In the end, Clay's taunts of, "If you give me jive, he'll fall in 5, came true. Rugby League has long had a special and historic relationship with Wembley Stadium, dating back to 1929, when the first Challenge Cup final was staged between Dewsbury and Wigan. There have in total been 63 Wembley finals and 7 Great Britain internationals against Australia and New Zealand. The best remembered final? Probably 1968, the Water Splash final, when Wakefield's Don Fox, in the very last minute, missed what would have been the winning goal from right in front of the posts. Between 1988 and 1995, Wigan won every year, an astonishing sequence. In 96 came Robbie Paul's tremendous hat-trick of tries for Bradford, and then in 1999, a fantastic victory for the underdogs, the Sheffield Eagles, over the red-hot favourites, Wigan. Wembley has become a firm favourite with rugby league fans, and the friendly final, as it became known, has attracted hundreds of thousands of supporters. On the 10th of December 1927, Wembley Stadium went to the dogs for the very first time. And, like a greyhound catching sight of the hare, it never looked back. Greyhound racing became a vital ingredient in making Wembley Stadium pay. A fact recognised years later by the then General Manager, George Stanton, who said, "For the best part of 50 years, the Greyhounds have been the stadium's bread and butter." The first Greyhound meeting at Wembley attracted a crowd of 50,000. And during that inaugural year, over 1.5 million people attended the meetings. On the stroke of 8 o'clock on Thursday the 16th of May 1929, a bugle sounded the fanfare to herald the launch of Speedway at Wembley. It was a relatively new sport introduced to Britain the previous year by the New Zealand-born Johnny Hoskins. Speedway was at Wembley to stay. In 1936, Wembley became the annual venue for the World Final. Wembley Lions were the sport's dominant team, winning the league championship 10 times in 18 seasons. The day Arthur Alvin, Wembley's owner and founder, was awarded a knighthood, the 13th of June 1946. He saw a record crowd of 72,000 people turn up to witness the Lions beat Birmingham. In 1986, Wembley was home for the day for the first American Bowl. NFL exhibition games were to return to northwest London a further 7 times. August the 3rd, 1986, was the date set for the Dallas Cowboys to play in a showcase game against the Chicago Bears, and nearly 83,000 people attended. The success of the American Bowl led Wembley to a demand from the British public for more, and the London Monarchs began playing home games here in 1991. So, music, Speedway, Evel Knievel, boxing, rugby league, greyhounds, His Holiness the Pope saying Mass for the thousands, all a part of the glorious history that is Wembley, the venue of legends. 77 years of memories, the years of the Twin Towers, which for football was always home. Quite a task for the new Wembley to match. I hope it will.
Bid for a piece of history. Log on to QXL.com for the Wembley auction. A part of Wembley could be yours. The turf that Gazza scored from against Scotland at Euro 96. Or that Stanley Matthews crossed from in the 1953 FA Cup final. There's a souvenir for everyone, from football programmes to a seat in the Royal Box, from a framed picture of your favourite Live Aid star to part of the Twin Towers. Bid for a piece of history. Log on to www.qxl.com for the Wembley auction.